So I'm Kim, and for those of you who don't know me or haven't tuned into the channel yet, I came into the military when I was 18, and 25 years later, I retired in 2021. And now I am a psychologist and I am a licensed therapist. And so I'm starting what I call the Sacred Soldier Rage series. And I'll talk about that more later. But today I want to talk about something that can kind of be triggering for people. I know it's triggering for me. Um, and I just ask that you hang in there with me, and just take a minute to try to hear what I'm saying. So coming out of the military, like I know a lot of people want to thank soldiers for their service. And I found that as people were thanking me for my service, it was triggering me. And so I really sat with, because one of the things we talk about as a therapist is if something is triggering you, there's something inside of you for you to explore. Like, yeah, there may be something that they're doing, but when you get triggered, to really explore what's getting triggered in you. And when people would say, thank you for your service, I found myself responding, I'm really just glad it's done. And, sometimes people are curious and they want to know more. Usually they're just uncomfortable and they say, yeah, I'm sure it was difficult. Clearly a lot of people just wanted to end the conversation and get back to their comfortable lives. I'm just going to say it like I felt it. And my ex-boyfriend, he would get so upset with me and he'd say, they're just trying to be polite. And I'd say, I know that's part of the problem, because my impression is that a lot of people don't really care about the answer. It's like when you ask someone, how are you doing? Usually you expect to hear fine or good. And if you get anything other than that, it's like you're like you start to get uncomfortable and you're just trying to get out of there. And oh, like this is not what I wanted to hear. Um, and so my impression was that most people were really just thanking a soldier for their service because that's what they've been told they're supposed to do. It makes them feel good, because they've thanked a soldier. And my ex, he would say, they're just trying to be compassionate. They're just trying to show their empathy to let you know that they care. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. But if they really care, they would take a minute to really know what they're thanking me for. And I think that that's really important because I think sometimes we have these misconceptions, or there's I'll just call it the propaganda ads that we see on TV that tell us what the military is about, and I don't think that they're always accurate. And I don't mean to sound ungrateful, so please don't hear that, because I know that soldiers today have it so much better than the Vietnam vets who got spit on, and told really nasty things when they returned home, from their war. And I think that there's still more that we could and should be doing for our veterans. And so my ask is for you to really be willing to take it a step further. Instead of just thanking a soldier for their service, to really take time to connect, to really, step out of your comfort zone, to really understand what soldiers have been through and what they're still going through, and to really understand what it is that you're thanking us for. Because I think if you realized what it is that we're being asked to do, that you would do more, that we would all do more, and that we would, contact our leaders and put an end to a lot of the senseless fighting and death and killing, and sending our soldiers off to die. And I would hope that you would advocate for more resources for those who are sacrificing. And I would hope that it wouldn't be an inconvenience, and maybe there will still be some discomfort, but you would take the time to hear a soldier's story. My sister, and maybe I shouldn't tell this story because I love my sister, but my sister and I got into an argument because she was using my phone number to use my military discount at stores. And when I said something to her, she said, you should be happy to share your military discount with your family. And, there's a lot that I have had to unpack with that. But my initial response was, do you have any idea what I went through to earn that discount? And the thing is, like, that was kind of the end of the discussion because most people don't want to hear. Like my sister knows that I was struggling with PTSD. She knows that I have a disability rating, and she has never asked anything about my military service. And I don't blame her. And because I'm sure there's a lot of reasons why she's never asked. And I'll talk about that more next week when I talk about how we can actually witness a veteran and their story in a loving and respectful way. And as I've been telling some of these stories, people tell me, you need to tell these stories to more people. They need to hear these stories. I think it's really important. But I'll be honest, I've been afraid. I've been in combat, but this makes me afraid. I was afraid my words would be misinterpreted. I was afraid I'd introduce shame for my fellow veterans and the currently serving soldiers. I was afraid to show my pain, which I was wrongfully taught was weakness. I was afraid I'd be told to suck it up and stop whining because that's the culture. And especially as a female, you don't want to be perceived as weak or less than, or that you're not a good soldier. But even with that fear, like I think it's really important to step through the fear and to start using my voice because what I'm saying is really being said out of love. And I do it to honor my fellow soldiers. And what I know is that their pain is my pain. And maybe we've been through different experiences and our pain is different, but when one of us suffers, we all suffer. And I don't just mean a soldier to a soldier. I mean we as in human beings. When one of us suffers, all of us suffer. And we really need to share the burden of this suffering so that we can all heal. And in this series, I'm going to talk about things like why I think the military and veteran suicide rates are so high and why they keep going up every year. I'm going to talk about things like military sexual assaults. I'm going to talk about combat. I know that these are really heavy topics, and I know that they're heavier than some people can hold. And if you'd like to hear the lighter topics, I'll be putting those out the rest of the week, and there's no shame in that. But what I'm asking you to do is to tune in on Fridays because that's when I'm going to dedicate my talks to, my military brothers and sisters in arms and, the things that they're going through, the things that they need support with. And here's my ask for you today. If you're willing to hold this space, to listen to these stories, to step out of your comfort zone, I would just ask that you hit the subscribe button below. What I'm really asking is that you sacrifice, 10 minutes of your week to listen to my stories, forward it to everyone you know so that they can subscribe and hear the stories. And if you or someone that you love is a veteran, please post below and let me know what you would like to talk about. What is sitting heavy on your heart that you would like to unburden, to have some support and holding. What is it that you want to be witnessed in? Because I think this is the biggest thing that you can do for a soldier is just to witness them and to support them. And my goal is to really honor my fellow veterans and to honor the sacrifice and to hopefully improve our situation as soldiers, but also as a nation. Because whether you realize it or not, veterans are not the only ones suffering with us not having these conversations. Veterans come home and their spouses and their loved ones and their children, you know, they feel this pain too. And we as a nation feel this pain. And what I'm really asking you is not to let the soldiers do all of the sacrifice. So if that's something that you can do, again, just subscribe. And every Friday, I'm going to be putting out a new video. And again, if there are soldiers that are in your life, you know, ask them, you know, what is it that you would need support in? And you know, I don't know everything, but you know, I do have a network of people that I can reach out to. You know, what are the things that we're struggling with? What are the things that we want to talk about? And I really just want to get this conversation going. Okay, so that's it for today, and I hope that you have stuck with it till the end. And I really send all, you know, the love and support to my fellow veterans and, you know, the people still serving. And lots of love until next time.